So what else made you cry?
Let's see.
Cute.
Yeah, when you just said that, I got the part that says Terry Nichols would have laughed it off, thinking the reaction was hysterically funny.
Yeah.
So
right?
that was about when you got punched in the eye at the day treatment center, and then your husband didn't want to go anywhere with you because people thought that he
did it once. That was enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
And I'd ask him a question and he would say, "Who wants to know and why?" Like, who cares? Is answer the question.
Let's see. What else did I have? Oh, this is a funny little story. You said you hated drinking milk out of the little cartons. Definitely a sensory thing. And when I was in school, I would take a quarter up and buy a milk in elementary school every day because I dipped my Oreos in it. I would open the milk carton, all of the way and dip my Oreos in it. But I never drank it. I think I might take a couple sips and then I dip my Oreos in it. And there was a lunchtime parapro that would always come over. You got your Oreos today? And it was just like this thing. So as I was reading, I thought it's amazing how we all have those similar childhood, a little thread of a memory that when you read it in someone else's story, it brings up fond memories or emotions, even though it's a different story. And I think that's part of the power of just connecting and telling our stories and communicating them, because we wouldn't ever think to bring that up always in a conversation. Hey, there was this one time that
by the way,
about milk cartons.
I hated drinking milk out of a carton. I'm sure it was essentially. The nice thing about the book is it really helped me to connect the dots, because the whole zip story, I never told anybody that that wasn't even a story for me.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Connecting all the chimpanzee and monkey and this must be your shit, Mom. So that was, they say it's very cathartic to, write a memoir, and it is. And there's a lot of energy that comes up, and it's a lot to deal with. And I remember going for a walk at one point with Terry, and I said, in the movies where, some woman's out on a grassy lawn, in an Adirondack chair, and then they pan back and you see that she's at the insane asylum, and people walk up to her and ask her a question and there's no response. That would feel really good right now. Oh my God. And then on top of it, my son, who I didn't know I'd even see again because he was living in Guam, all of a sudden he's going to move back to South Carolina. And he did, through, this memoir and COVID and all the crazy things that, have been happening. So it's been an interesting ride getting this book out.
I loved this quote too, when you were helping the Russian refugees and the woman that you helped to learn how to drive. And you said, I shook my finger in her face and said very sternly, "Nadia, this is not your test. This is Jesus's test." She said, "Okay, Linda, I understand." And voila, she passed her test.
And she did. It was the only thing that did it.
That was a reminder to me of the time when I was, I was nursing, and then my baby stopped she refused to nurse, but I still had to pump for her, or I chose to pump instead of doing formula.
Sure.
And then when I was trying to decide if it was time to stop pumping, I was just freaking out, as any mom would, because it's what if there's not enough, of other milk, if there's not enough goat milk for her, or if she still needs this, or just all of the worry. Yeah. And I remember my husband at the time saying, how much of this is about trust? And it's that same prompt of just basically relax, let go.
Yes.
And I thought being able to offer someone that is a very it's a very doula energy, where you just stand really firm and you're we're getting through this. This is happening. you are going to be okay.
Yes. My stepfather's brother's wife was pregnant at like 17. So by the time she's ready to deliver, she's about 18. And they're on the way to the hospital. And she's like, I'm not doing this. Stop the car right now. I'm getting out. I'm not doing this. And he goes, it's a little late for that.
That's what we call transition. There's like a stage in labor where you're sure you're going to die. You're like, why did I ever do this? I remember thinking, why did I let him knock me up again? Like, that was my thought in labor. Why did I let him knock me up again? I went all the way back to there. I didn't even, it wasn't just about birthing. It was like, why did I do this? Yeah. But you learn in doula training that's just the name of the game. There's always that point where I don't want to do it.
I just die instead.
Like, I didn't think I was going to die. I did.
Yeah, right? 2 weeks later, I found out I did. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
I died being born, but not in labor. My heart rate stopped when I was being born.
Oh, no wonder you're so in tune. Wow.
Yeah.
Plus you're younger.
It stopped and they had to push me back up into the womb to deliver me.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, I don't think I was coming out fast enough. And I had a nuchal cord, so the cord was wrapped around my neck multiple times.
Wow.
And that's not always a deal breaker. Like, you can have a cord wrapped and the baby can be vaginally born and you slip it off.
You can slip a finger in there.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a matter of, like, the doctor's just not trained to do that or comfortable with it, or if birth isn't going fast enough, like if the mom's pushing for a long time, then they can just say, okay, we got to make this an emergency C-section. So that's what happened to my mom. Was they pushed me back up in, rushed her to the OR, knocked her out with anesthesia. She didn't even wake up for, I think it was 6 hours. You're supposed to be able to wake up from that within an hour. They're supposed to be able to just take you off of it, and then you wake up. And she didn't wake up for 6 hours. So,
yikes.
Yeah,
wow.
Crazy.
There's so much trauma in birth on both sides, right?
Yeah, absolutely.